Yo, what's going on? This is Mike, and I am the Sports Dope. You can find me on Twitter at that Sports Dope. I'm on Instagram with the same name. If you go to mindsofmike.com/slash the Sports Dope, you'll see a bunch of social media icons. You'll be able to find my YouTube there, link to my iTunes. So depending on which one of those two you're watching or listening to on, you'll be able to find the other there. And yeah, it was a rough week last week picking the games. Um, Overall was just bad. All like the general picks, the bets I made, not great. But such is the life of a degenerate. So we were 1-4. I almost said 4-1, but 4-1 in the bad way, the degenerate way. But we were 1-4 last week with the picks. The only one we got right was Tampa Bay with the points. Should have thrown some money line stuff on it. I knew they would keep it close. I just felt it, but man, to to do what they did, that was very impressive. Very impressive. And it's kind of funny that still a lot of value on their win to division number. I think it was somewhere around plus 400 when I looked at it before and threw a little bit of cash on it. I think that their spot this week is going to dictate that, and this is going to be if they do well next week, and especially if they win, that number is probably going to go down a little bit. So now's the time to get it sometime before the weekend. Anyway, so rough week last week. We also did say Oakland money line, so Oakland plus 250, that cashed. So if you're betting in units, we lost 6 units because the teasers both didn't hit, and another Thursday night teaser also not hitting right now, unless somehow Seattle can find a way to score 2 points only and stay under while still being within 5, but that's not going to happen when they're 29-24 with 3:11 left in the fourth. So anyway, if you know this, I am on the East Coast, so I am about 11:25 right now. I have a flight to catch at 7 in the morning, so I'm going to do a quick one. So recapping the ones that we lost real quickly. Steve Gostkowski, right? You can't even get that extra point. You kick another extra point later. You kick a field goal later, and then you're like, oh my God, my fucking hip hurts. And you just bail. And are you serious, dude? Like, if your hip hurt that bad, why were you out there still kicking field goals or anything after the fact? Oh my God, why did Rashad Penny just bounce it to himself? That was kind of ridiculous. Anyway, he tapped it to himself. It was like one of those NBA drills. At least I think it was Rashad Penny anyway, whoever number 32 is. But, Oakland cashed. That was a solid one. I think it was just, Indy's defense not being great more than anything else. Indy had a little bit of a look-ahead spot because they were playing Kansas City. I think it was Carson now. Okay, anyway. But yeah, Oakland cashed. The Green Bay thing on Thursday night. Woof, that was ugly. Yeah, it was Carson. And Atlanta, man, that ruined the other fucking teaser. Atlanta, Seattle, New Orleans. Seattle, New Orleans, both covered on their end, even without the teaser action. But Atlanta, they lost at home like a big bag of dicks to the Titans. What a bunch of fucking assholes down in Atlanta. But anyway, so that's it. That was a recap of that week. So it was rough, but we'll talk about DraftKings more later. But if you were in the DraftKings stuff, one of the lineups there got a cool, I think like 80 something bucks. So not bad, finishing like the top 5,000, I think. For a hot minute, I was inside the top 1,000, winning like close to 200 bucks. But some other folks there caught up at the end. So anyway, we'll talk more about that later. Diving right into this week, we're going to just go ahead real quick. I liked Seattle. They actually just scored a touchdown to take a 1-point lead, missed the 2-point conversion. So if you got them at -1, you're pushing right now. I had them in the teaser. So I got them at +5, but I also had the under, and that shit got blown out already. So that's... Man, I was doing so hot for those Thursday nights there for a minute. Pretty good, but not anymore. Anyway, we'll turn it around next week for Thursday. Actually, we'll turn it around Sunday, right? Fuck it. We're going to turn it around Sunday. So the first game I have no bet on. I got Buffalo going to Tennessee. Thought this was going to open at Tennessee -3. Opened at -1. Then it went to Tennessee -3. I don't buy Tennessee. They beat up a fucking high school team's defense last week in their own house. I don't know if Josh Allen's playing, so I'm not buying Buffalo. They looked like Buffalo last week. Yeah, we're going to score 10 points, and maybe we'll fucking make you score less. Or maybe we won't, but it'll be close. This game's going to be no different. I think Buffalo's going to be able to stop their offense. I think the total's right where it should be, around like 38.5. I don't want anything to do with this game. Next game I want nothing to do with is, I hate the Giant spread games. You know that about me. New England -15.5. I thought it was going to open at 14.5. It opened at 13, went up to 15.5. New England's going to Washington. I don't even know who the quarterback is. I don't think Jay Gruden even knows who the quarterback's going to be yet. He hasn't been told by management. I think management's pushing him to play Haskins, and he's just trying to show him the game tape from fucking last week. Like, you fucking serious? Like, we got Case Keenum walking around in a fake walking boot so we can pretend he's hurt so we can put this guy in if you guys really want him to, but they have no idea what's going on. He's just telling the media. No idea. Next game I'm not betting on. I got Jacksonville going to Carolina. I love me some Minshew, but not this week. Carolina's pretty hot too. They're hot behind another rookie quarterback, so not a fan of this. Hot rookie versus hot rookie. No thank you. I'm a Minshew man myself, but staying away because it's the other hot rookies' fucking home turf. Next game I want no part of. I also want no part in watching this game. This game's going to be gross. Arizona going to Seattle. I thought it was going to be, or not Seattle, Cincinnati. I thought it was going to be Cincinnati. I keep saying Seattle, even though I'm fucking reading Cincinnati. I don't know what is happening right now with my eyes to my brain. Oh, I have a little bit of an idea. Wink, wink. So I thought it was going to be Cincinnati -3, open at -4, move back down to -3. I want nothing to do with it. Cincinnati looked like complete trash. They couldn't even score a couple of points to help me with that over on Monday night. I mean, at least pretend you want to be there. Like, try. I mean, I understand it must be a fucking tough thing listening to that little fucking geek of a coach you guys have. Like, you're all giant fucking men and you're supposed to listen to this fucking stat guy with a clipboard. I get it. It's tough. But you know what? Listen to the fucking kid. You know what? He's a nerd. He knows what people are going to do on the field. And he'll get you open. So just fucking listen to the nerd. All right? Fuck. Next up, we got a London game. First one of the year. Glad it's not on super early in the morning. Chicago at Oakland, at London, whatever. I thought it was going to be Chicago -6.5. Opened at 6. Went down to 5.5. I think people are buying this Oakland team a little bit. I don't think the quarterback change in Chicago is that big of a drop. I think this is really Mac versus Gruden. Gruden's going to put 3 fucking people on Mac just to make sure that he doesn't beat him. But I don't even know if that'll be enough because Mac's going to want to beat him. And so just going to stay away from this one. Another giant spread here. We got the Jets going to Philly. I thought it was going to be Philly -9.5. It opened at 13. I still don't care. I'm not going anywhere near this one. Sam Darnold was supposed to come back, but then he was like, you know what, guys? I kind of want my own fucking spleen to stay in my body. So, no thank you. Next up, we got Dallas. Green Bay's going to their house. I thought it was going to be Dallas -3.5. Opened at 4, dropped at 3.5. I kind of like Green Bay in this one, but yeah, not enough to bet on it. I think both of these teams are a little bit suspect after they showed that, against another quality opponent, just maybe not as high end as we might have thought after they played teams like, I don't know, fucking the Giants when they had Eli still, or Miami or something like that, or tied to Arizona. Yeah. So, yeah, whatever. What else we got here? We got Indy going to the Chiefs. I thought it was going to be 7 because I thought people would still be buying Indy despite the Oakland loss, but it opened at 8.5 and then it went to 11. So people are all over Kansas City, even though they won. They won ugly, so you would like to think they'll at least correct their mistakes this week. Andy Reid will beat it into them during a week of practice while he's walking around with a bucket of chicken. So, all good. They'll fix it. I understand where the spread's going, but I'm not going with it. Last up, Monday night, Cleveland at San Francisco. I thought it was going to open up San Francisco -3. It opened up -4, and now it's 3.5. Kind of like San Francisco, but not enough to bet on it. If I do, you'll see it on Twitter Monday night. You probably will see it on Twitter Monday night because I'm a degenerate and I want some action. Maybe it'll depend on the baseball matchups because, I still going to want it. Football fucking rules. I don't care. I'll look at the baseball box score and understand what happened in the game. Can't do that with football. Anyway, let's move on now to the games I'm going to throw some money on. Actually, already have some money on them. They're the games I haven't mentioned yet. So, this is what I'm doing this week. You know I like Tampa Bay. I think the Saints haven't played anybody really too tough. I think they've been up for both of these games. They won kind of fluky in Seattle, if you remember. The game against the Cowboys, I think the Cowboys just kind of ran out of gas and the Saints defense played out of their minds. This is a division matchup. Tampa Bay plays well in the dome. They're not intimidated by it. Jameis has been in the league for years now. He's been to that fucking dome. He knows what goes on there. He's good with it. I think giving them 3.5 points, I'll take that. And yeah, that's going to be my lock of the week. I think they're still amped. They're not due for a letdown. Arians is going to keep their heads up. They got a good run defense, so if they could stop Kamara, then Teddy Bridgewater has to throw it. And he can throw it short, okay, but if Tampa Bay can defend short, it's defending long that's their problem. Danny Dimes was throwing it long. Jimmy G was throwing it long. So that's their problem a little bit if you can exploit them long. But Teddy can't do that. He doesn't have it in him. So if they get behind, that's what he's going to have to do, and that's when he's going to start throwing interceptions, and that's when a mediocre secondary starts to look good. And then Tampa Bay wins the game, and then they get a little bit overvalued, and we bet against them. Right? That's how that shit works. Next up, I'm going with the over 49 in the Houston and the Falcons game. I think both of these offenses are coming off very poor weeks. Both of them are poor weeks at home. Houston's staying home. Atlanta's staying in a dome. I think it just makes sense. I think they're going to put some numbers up. So give me over 49 in the Houston and Atlanta game. Next up, we're going with... I'm going back to the Tampa Bay and the New Orleans game. I'm going to go with under 47 in that one. I think it's going to be kind of a tight one. I think I'm thinking something like maybe 24-21, 23-20, somewhere around there, something like that. I think that half point might come into play. That's what I meant to say. Not like a mushed-mouth idiot. So look, I did this like 2 weeks ago, and it fucked me over. And I just feel like it's gonna do it to me again, but I just think this is more. So like, you ever hear the phrase like smelling your own farts? Like, I feel like there are some teams that are susceptible to smelling their own farts, right? They think they're like riding high, and I think this week. I think the Chargers, a team that always like finds some way to fuck something up. I think after they beat Miami, I think they're smelling their own farts a little bit. I think that they're like, oh, we corrected everything. No, you didn't. And now Melvin Ingram's hurt too. Oh, Melvin Gordon's back. So what? He's probably rusty. Denver, yeah, they suck. They've lost so many close games. It sucks for them. Games that they should have been closer in, like the Green Bay game, or just close games like the Chicago game or the Jacksonville game, and in rough ways too. And Bradley Chubb is hurt. But I think they're going to give it one more solid effort here. And I think at the very least, the Chargers, they're banged up. They're susceptible to a late mistake where they just turn the ball over late or something, or have no problem giving up a garbage time touchdown. I mean, they're going to double cover Keenan Allen. All the other receivers are hurt. Russell Okung's hurt. Von Miller's going to just run through whatever turnstile they put there. I have a feeling that Denver's got a little bit more fight in them than we give them credit for. And I think it's going to show this week. So give me Denver also this week with the points. You could still find a 7, 6.5. I'd still take it though. Last on the regular games, non-teased. I'm taking the Giants. And this is, listen, I'm not trying to be a homer. I'm not trying to smell their farts, right? That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm taking the Giants because I believe in Danny Dimes. I believe in stem cell Eli. My new running theory is going to be that when Peyton was over in Germany getting his stem cell treatment on his neck, that Eli was out there too, got some stem cells, created Daniel Jones in a laboratory, created an elaborate backstory of him going to high school and fabricated all the evidence, got him into Duke, and boom, that's it. And he's stem cell Eli. This is all part of the major plan. But this is more of the thing with Minnesota. They're terrible on the road. The Giants defense showed a little bit of heart last week. A little bit. The Giants defense could stop the run a little bit. If they could slow Dalvin Cook down or at least keep up with them a little bit offensively and put Kirk Cousins in a position to have to win the game, do you trust that? I don't. And I think 5.5 points is a lot. I thought this was going to be a pick'em because of how hot the Giants were and how much the public liked the Giants and how much everybody knows Minnesota's garbage on the road. 5.5 points? That's a lot. Give me the Giants. All right. So those are my bets. And so I do the dog of the week also. Who's the good dog in that week? I think Denver's live. I think I'm going to put a little bit. I think I'm going to put a half on Denver and a half a unit on the Giants each. And I think at least one of them will hit. That's what I'm going to do. And then since they're both, plus money, they'll both be out there. They'll both be profitable. So, lastly, I got a teaser of the week coming up. So I'm going to go with Houston. Atlanta is terrible. I was saying before they're going to put up points, and I think they will, but their defense is garbage, and they're not going to put up as many as Deshaun Watson will. Deshaun Watson had a terrible week. They had a letdown week after they went out to Los Angeles and beat the Chargers. I keep wanting to say San Diego. I can't. It's so hard. But anyway, I think Houston, +1, take them in a tease. Give me that. Next up, Pittsburgh. I think we're starting to learn. This Baltimore team is a fraud. I don't believe in them. Lamar Jackson's throwing lollipops out there. They beat a couple of bad teams. He's out there talking shit like, oh my God, he's pretty good for a running back. Yo, you're not throwing fucking bullets, my guy. Sorry. I don't trust him. I don't buy it. But I don't buy Pittsburgh enough to take him just the 3.5. So give me Pittsburgh 9.5 in the teaser. They scored at home. The Ravens defense hasn't looked fantastic at all. So give me Pittsburgh 9.5. And you know what? I'm going back to the Giants. I love some home dogs adding to that total. The Giants +11.5. So there we go. So the teaser is Houston +1, Pittsburgh +9.5, Giants +11.5. The dog, I'm going to split the difference. I'm going half a unit on Denver, half a unit on the Giants. And for the regular bets, the lock, I'm saying it's Tampa Bay. And I'm saying over 49 in Houston, Atlanta, under 47 in Tampa Bay, New Orleans. Give me the Giants 5.5 and Denver 6.5. Okay, so that's it for the picks. I'm going to jump right into some DraftKings. I'm going to run through some lineups real quick. We just talked about the picks, so I told you how I thought those games were going to go. So I think a lot of these are going to be pretty obvious. So Phil, a millionaire maker. I'm going with Deshaun Watson at $6,700, and I'm stacking him with DeAndre Hopkins at $7,800. I don't think that there's any chance that they have as poor of a showing as they did last week. In fact, they're going to step it up. They're going to want to prove themselves. Home crowd after a bad loss against some rookie quarterback from Carolina. How do you not do that for your home fans? They're going to just destroy this Atlanta team. They might cover themselves. If, Atlanta's even staying close and there's a reason for Houston to keep their foot on the gas, they could definitely push it into the 40s, I think. Next up, we're going back to the well. These are two running backs I used last week. I'm going Christian McCaffrey and James White. Christian McCaffrey, $8,700. He is fantastic, and nobody can stop him. That's all I can say. Jacksonville's coming to town. I don't care. He's put up 30-plus for the last, 3 weeks. James White, I think he's out of the doghouse now. God forbid you mention the fact that you have a family at home around Bill Belichick and you want to see them for a weekend when your wife is spitting out a kid. I mean, oh my God, right? You can plan that shit. Next up, Calvin Ridley. Give me more of the Atlanta-Houston game. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring, a lot of bad defenses when it comes to deep passes, and two teams that can really bomb the fucking ball deep and people that can go get it. So Calvin Ridley at $4,900. Next up for a wide receiver, Randall Cobb, his old squad. The Green Bay Packers are coming to town. I think he's good for 5 or 6 catches on a regular game, and I think he gets in the end zone. Dak hooks him up with that because he's a fucking sweet boy out there. Give me Randall Cobb at $4,200. Give me Jared Cook in the tight end spot for $3,400. I think that New Orleans, they're going to have a tough time scoring, but they're going to be able to move the ball a little bit if they can go up the middle. The Tampa Bay secondary isn't too great up the middle. And I think they're going to be focused on the run coverage. Jared Cook might be able to sneak behind the linebackers a little bit. So give me Jared Cook, $3,400. In the flex spot, going Joe Mixon, Cincinnati, hosting Arizona. God, Cincinnati is fucking complete trash. I feel so bad for Joe Mixon, but I don't because he punched his lady in the face and he's a scumbag. But fuck him. I'm going to put him in my DraftKings lineup for $6,100. I think Cincinnati is just looking forward to getting home, maybe getting right against a bad defense, and Joe Mixon's going to be a part of that. The defense I'm going with is the Tennessee Titans hosting the Bills. I don't even know if Josh Allen is going to be the quarterback or not. I don't even know if it makes a difference. I think Buffalo's offense isn't great at all, and I'll take the Tennessee defense here for $3,000. So that is my Millionaire Maker lineup. I didn't recap exactly what we did last week. Sorry, I forgot about that. But last week we did pretty well. So I think we came in somewhere around 5,000. Won a cool 80-something bucks. So that was sweet. But yeah, solid showing there. Nope. I can't find it. Anyway, so on to the last lineup here. This is a lineup I'm going to play with a couple of friends. This one I'm going for a different stack. I'm going with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. Matt Ryan, $5,900. Julio, $7,700. I think they got a chance to just completely hook up, have a great time, make out on the field with passes. It's going to be fantastic for everybody throwing the ball in that game and catching it. I just think both of these teams are just... They're like super soakers. Remember super soakers? You have to fucking pump it a whole bunch of times. The more you pumped it, the more it shot out. They've been playing so bad, and the offenses are so good. And now both of these defenses are not good. And it's just going to fucking explode in a dome for a shitload of points. I don't know. I just feel that that's how I feel this game's going to go. So I want a bunch of pieces of it and all the people involved. My running back, I'm going to go with Dalvin Cook, $8,400. He's going to the Giants. I think they're going to try and use him a lot because if they don't use him, then they have to rely on Kirk Cousins, and nobody really wants to do that. So let's go with Dalvin Cook for $8,400. David Johnson, he's going to Cincinnati. I mentioned Cincinnati's trash all over the place. I think their offense is going to try and step it up for their fans, but I don't think their defense has the capability to stop somebody like David Johnson. So they're going to give him the ball a bunch, I feel. Give me him for $7,500. I already mentioned Julio. I'm going to go with Alshon Jeffrey, $5,900. They got the Jets coming to town. Terrible secondary. The offense is bad, so Philly should have the ball a lot. They just move the chains. Alshon Jeffrey's a big part of that. Bunch of catches, bunch of yards, probably a touchdown. Let's fucking get that. I'm going to go with Curtis Samuel for $4,500. This kid's been looking at his way. Kyle Allen's been looking his way. Jacksonville's coming to town. Jalen Ramsey, he's holding out or whatever. I don't know how you start holding out in the middle of the season. Complained that he wanted to win, and as soon as he fucking left, they started to win. You know what? Fuck him. But please come back because I really think you're a quality player and you can help their defense. And I have futures on them, so please come back. Tyler Eifert is in our tight end spot. Everybody who plays in the tight end spot and plays against Arizona, they score touchdowns in those games. Give me Tyler Eifert for $3,300. Look that up. That's a fact. Even more than this year. Nope, that's a lie. Just this year. In the flex spot, we're going to go with Ronald Jones at New Orleans. I think in a week or so, he's going to be the starter. Peyton Barber's going to be on the side holding the clipboard. Maybe even in the booth with Rondé Barber getting him drinks. Who knows? But Ronald Jones, he's the one who's fucking better. He should be playing more this week, maybe where it starts, because they know they might need him to beat New Orleans. Lastly, I needed a defense that was kind of cheap because I want kind of big money guys in the top. So I had to go with the Steelers. And I say had to go with. I don't really feel like I had to go with them. They were super cheap, $2,100. Allowed me to get a whole lot more fucking players, much more value up there. But I think they can have a great game against Baltimore. I think they got the people that can contain them. Devin Bush, TJ Watt. I think they can keep them back there. The secondary now has got Minka Fitzpatrick back there. Maybe they'll just make him the spy. Oh, man. Did the Rams just miss a field goal? That's fantastic. Oh, shit. But anyway, if you remember the Chargers last year, when they played Lamar Jackson, they had Derwin James. Derwin James shadowed him the whole game. Maybe that's what the Steelers do with Minka Fitzpatrick. So I think the Steelers could have a big game. So anyway, Seattle Seahawks, they just won. So the futures ticket that I bought earlier today. Sorry I didn't get this podcast out earlier. Probably looking better in terms of value. Oof, that was fucking close too. All right, so lineups we had Deshaun Watson, $6,700, Christian McCaffrey, $8,700, James White, $5,000, DeAndre Hopkins, $7,800, Calvin Ridley, $4,900. I feel like an auctioneer. Randall Cobb, $4,200, Jared Cook, $34, Joe Mixon, $61, and the Titans at $30. Then for the other one, we had Matt Ryan at $59, Dalvin Cook at $84, David Johnson at $75, Julio Jones at $77, Alshon Jeffrey at $59, Curtis Samuel $45, Tyler Eifert $33, Ronald Jones $46. He's going to be the starter in a week. If you can get a piece of him in your league, get somebody to trade you him, I say do it now. And then the Steelers at $2,100. That fucking took a lot out of me. All right, that's it for me tonight. I got to catch a flight. It's fucking 11:50. Oh, my God. All right, I'm tired as shit. But I'm going to stay up anyway and watch a little bit something else. But anyway, thank you. I am Mike. I am the Sports Dope. You can find me on Twitter at @ThatSportsDope. Go to mindsofmike.com/thesportsdope. You'll find a bunch of those social media icons, and you'll be able to find all the shit that I have out there in the fucking world. It's not too much. It's just me yelling into a microphone like this. That's it. That's all I got. Have a good week. Let's beat the bookies. Peace.